Welcome. This is First Lady Harmonic. Haven't done a video in a while for myself, for you guys that's following my page. So I decided to just jump on the charts. It's Friday at 3:45 p.m. The market's about to close. Want to take a look at some things that I'm looking at for next week. I've been working on some things as well. Just some other methods to perfect entries and so forth and so on. But I was in this pair here, EURNZD, this week made some nice profits. So of course, I always start on the daily time frame. So far, it looks like we are closing bearish, something that we probably would short, possible harmonic as well. I'm looking at, let me just take a look here. It looks like a possible bat formation coming down into this area right here, and I'm just going to draw it out. The bat formation has a minimum B point of 38.2, I believe, to 61.8, but usually at a 50% B point, it usually signifies a bat formation, at least for me and my experience. So I'm going to be looking for a price to come down into this area right here. Right in there. 886, you always want to have a ABA. You want two fibs to line up with your D point, so that way it gives you either a nice fib cluster or a PRZ zone. Which gives you a nice reversal zone if you don't know what that is, and that lines up pretty good. 1618. I'll draw my zone out here, make it green for money. Okay, so we have that. Oh, I hate when this magnet is on. So we have that to look forward to next week. That's what I'm personally looking at. But what I did see here, we noticed that there's a rally up. Actually, let's see. Let's just bring this in a little bit further. What I do see here is something that's very interesting as well. We currently are on an uptrend because we are making higher lows. With higher lows, we're making higher highs. Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We currently are in this position right here. We have not broken this low. Once we break this low right here, then we can suggest that we are in and going in a downtrend. The trend has changed, but since as long as we are above this zone here, this level, this higher low, we are still currently in an uptrend, and this D completion here is higher than the previous high here, so still signifying an uptrend. So that's something more presently what to look at. But always, like I've always said, there's always smaller patterns in the mix of a larger pattern. So I'm looking at possibly a larger pattern here, and what I'm looking at is this move here. Let me just kind of draw it out. Like I always said, you always want to look for double bottoms and things of that nature. So this would be my double bottom in the form of a W. You want to look at it from that standpoint. You have that. You also have a B point that has been broken. Okay. Right here. It has been broken, has been retested as well, so it has been respected. So what is this pattern? How do we measure it? So again, always speaking about impulse legs, identifying the impulse leg, and measuring out. Harmonics is based off of measurements. Forget about the candles right now. Candles should be only focused on when it's time for entry, and for exit, that's price action itself. So if I wanted to measure this out, I just go from X to A. You want to bring it down, you want to be very precise. My B point is at a 61.8. Now 61.8 B point usually gives us a a Gartley, a 786, which we see here. And we see that price basically blew past that, so the Gartley pattern would be invalid. So my next target would be the 161.8, which would 161.8, which is what I said actually. So that is what I will be looking to target. Let me just get rid of this Fibonacci right here. So we have X to A 161.8. This is what I'm looking for in my target range, which breaks this high right here, blows right through this whole zone. So this would be a larger pair for an uptrend, and it would look something like this. There. Again, you always want to have two Fibonacci's that are in relation to each other, Fibonacci cluster or a zone, and it's always an ABA extension. And we're looking for, I believe it's a crab is a 224 to a 2618. And look at that, beautiful lines perfectly up with the 1618. This is what they call a fib cluster, which gives me high probability that price, once it gets here, it's going to be a strong area of resistance. So it's something definitely you want to pay attention to once you get into this area. It's also by one of my major points of resistance, my support and resistance, what I call quarter points at 1.9. 1.9, and it is a major quarter point, so that gives me extra confirmation that, and look, it lines up, oh my goodness, perfectly. Everything lines up perfectly. So from a daily perspective, this pair right here, I am hopefully pretty convinced that this is where it's heading. So let's get down to see where we are right now. What is it playing out into? We have the move up, we have a rally down. Again, all measurements. So once this rally up had been taking place, we are in an uptrend. So X to A, this is a 61.8. And then of course we have a double bottom, which is probably 88.6. It did not break my low, so that gives me good confirmation. Here we go again with this. Our B point has been broken, and our Gartley is a 786, and so this pattern has completed itself. It's one larger pattern forming, and as you can see, I'm going to show you this pattern within this pattern within this pattern. And so this is how you would begin to, let's make this color, see what possible entries are. So 618 right here. Let's bring this back down. 786. Okay. Okay, let's just get rid of this right here. So that was a Gartley. And we have a, let's make this pink. Let's see that one. And so from our Gartley, we want to look for our take profits, which would be A to D, a 38.2 and a 61.8. So it's A to D, and we see that we have hit the 38.2, and our 61.8 is down here, which confirms a D completion of a bat harmonic pattern. So this is where I'm looking for price to actually end up going come next week, and hopefully it will be a trend continuation, and we'll be able to take it all the way back up to the 1618 level. So again, let's see if I can scrunch this down and get a better view of all of this and how harmonics works to give you a better understanding of where the market's going, a better understanding of where you can possibly enter and exit the trade. The market does move in harmonious fashions and moves in waves. Again, here is the wave X. You see the double bottom. And once you begin to learn to see the market in this fashion, this is when you would begin to bring your trading up to a level on which you can start just making massive pips. And the key is, a lot of note for myself was, I learned the patterns, but then I had to learn the method of entry, which is by price action. Right now it's still very bearish. Move this out of the way. And this is what we currently are looking at right here for this pair. So if you have any questions in reference to how to begin to see the market in a harmonious fashion, how to enter trades and so forth, feel free to give me a call. Hit me up on Facebook. Okay, this is First Lady Harmonic. Talk to you later.